Okay, guys, so here's the story. In the 90s, I was working at different conventional practices. I saw a lot of harm and handling that was incredibly traumatic and stressful. I saw a lot of use of pharma, overuse of antibiotics that's still happening today, a lot of prednisolone, which led to heart failure, led to diabetes, and, animals were never being healed. So, I worked at shelters, I volunteered at shelters, I was in rescue. I've taken out so many animals that were slated for euthanasia, even declined by rescues, and put them back into gear with natural methodologies. Alongside this, I was doing a post-grad in psychology and one in somatics. I went on to study feline psychology. I was traveling the globe. I was doing herbalism. I studied in the Himalayas and hospice. I did an internship in holistic animal hospice at Brighthaven, where there was 100 animals that, I was feeding them raw food and giving them all these natural remedies. And the cats were, some of them, a couple were 28. One was actually, I think, 36 by the time he died. And I then went on to study Chinese medicine. I also hired a vet to come over to take blood tests. We became friends. I worked for her. And she then realized, we became friends. She was wonderful. And we would go to the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association conferences. And she realized how much I knew of Chinese medicine. And then she had me, and this is legal in California when it's veterinary discretion, you're working on site, and I was doing acupuncture and TCM on the patients. Now, TCVM is an adaptation of TCM, and TCM is an actual adaptation of pre-Maoist Chinese medicine, which is classical and very spiritual. Now, I loved to do the classical and the very emotional, spiritual, psycho-emotional, psycho-spiritual with the animals. They really responded. It was so successful at the practice. Another vet wanted to hire me, but she also wanted me to be a tech there. And because of the fact she did chemo at the practice, I would be having to do that. I couldn't. So I retired from most of that in 2018. I moved on to more wildlife and, being a wildflower docent and a wildlife docent. I'm an ambassador for the Mountain Lion Foundation. And I also, my little Ehlers-Danlos hypermobility became, I moved into the disordered end of the spectrum because of the fact that I needed an adjuvant to work at a wildlife hospital. So I sort of have been in a very ill state for a number of years, or, one of those, what they consider invisible disabilities. But I'm going to be delivering you a lot of information in the future to help you and your animals, and to teach eco-stewardship and planetary stewardship, and to really examine these corporate narratives that are harming our pets and our planet and ourselves. And I can deliver a lot of wonderful veterinarians that, besides the fact that they excel in allopathic medicine, they have taken it upon themselves to study nutrition, which isn't really taught in vet school, and herbal medicine and natural medicine. And a lot of them study TCVM or chiropractics. And I've known a number of them since the 90s. Actually, a couple of them inspired me to go to Chinese medical graduate school. So I can't wait. We're going to interview them with a friend of mine and myself in the next year. And we're going to come together and we're going to put a lot of this information out there for senior pets. So stay tuned and please like or follow and subscribe.